Good morning, everyone. It's Alison Solven with Stamp Crazy with Alison. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, which is just outside of Vancouver on the West Coast. So welcome if this is your first visit with me. I'm glad to see you, and I'm just going to wait until people pop on. And in the meantime, I'm going to make sure that I am broadcasting live because sometimes Facebook, YouTube, makes me crazy, just to make sure that I'm actually got my sound going. Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. Good morning, Keisha. How are you today? Oh boy, the year's zipping by. Zipping by, right? My goodness, it's almost December. Anyway, morning. Morning, Jacqueline. Nice to see my Vancouver Island gals. Welcome. And you are live, someone said. I don't know who said that, but welcome, Facebook user. You might have to type your name in. I'll see if you're... No, you're not showing. This is StreamYard. This is what I use to stream my videos, and you have to give it permission so I can see your name. But welcome, Facebook user. You must be on the Border Buddy group. Hi, Mo. Good morning. Okay, you guys, you're popping on real quick. Yay! Well, today we're going to do a card with the Fitting Florets Collection. I love this collection, and as you may know, my class partner, Ange McKay, and I are doing a class. The class is on December the 5th, so in a couple of weeks. I have one kit left, one goodie bag and card kit remaining. And if you want it and you can get it today, the links are going to be on this video when it's finished, then I can get them out in the mail in time for you for the December 5th virtual class. Now, the collection is no longer available only because, let me grab the gold adhesive back swirls are no longer available. Oh, somebody's in my backyard. So that's sad. But the good news is, if you join our class, you're still going to get these as part of your goodie bag. But all the other products are still available. The beautiful designer series paper, the stamps, and the dies. And I'm going to show you those in a minute. If you purchase even one item from the collection, so one stamp set or the DSP, I'll send you a PDF that's got 9 projects using the collection. And if you buy the whole collection, now you won't be able to buy the whole collection because you can't get these, but if you buy everything else, I will send you an additional PDF with 12 more cards. So that's 21 altogether. So that's fun. All right, let's see what's going on. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Jacqueline. And we have so much fun at our classes, don't we? Hi, Ellie. Good morning. Hi, Donna. Good morning. Alrighty, well, let's get started. Let's go over here. I am going to be using one of the stamp sets, Framed and Festive, from the collection. This is the Christmas themed one. Now, it is not going to be available beyond January the 4th. So it's a short-term product release. It should be available until then, but Stampin' Up! Always says, while supplies last. I hate those words, don't you guys? While supplies last. So I always think, oh, they might not last. I better get stuff. Okay. So let me show you what comes in the class. You'll provide your own stamps and your own dies, but the class comes with the pack of the gold, what is it? Gold adhesive back swirls, which are really pretty. We've been using those on our projects. You're going to get half a package of adhesive sheets. This makes it really easy to adhere very fine and delicate dies because the glue is applied when you put it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. You're also going to get half a package of the gorgeous designer series paper. There we go. So that's one side, which is beautiful. You can see that this is very Christmassy, and so is this one, but you could also adapt it for something else. So that's one side, and then we've got the other side, which is also very pretty and very useful. Okay, so that's what comes in the class. $40. You get the goodie bag. Those products would be worth probably around $35. And then we're also going to mail it to you. That's included in the fee. And you're going to get 4 cards, meaning you're going to get the kit to create your own cards. So for instance, today's card, you would get something like this. You get all the bits in an envelope, and there'd be 4 of them. You're going to get a PDF so you can make them again if you want, with the measurements and supplies and directions. And then you join us on December 5th, either live or you can watch later on the replay, where we create the cards together. We craft along. So hope you can join us. I've got 1 kit left. So what else is in this fantastic collection? Well, we've got the framed florets stamps and dies. Okay. We've got the framed and festive stamp set, and then the products that I showed you earlier. All right, so let's get started. Like I said, we're going to be using framed and festive. We're going to create a Christmas card today. So I'm starting with, it is a bit involved, this card, so hopefully not, nothing goes sideways, but it is a bit involved. We're going to start with soft succulent. Now this is cut to our regular 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4 1/4. So I'll just do that. Okay. The first thing I want to do is I want to stamp the front of the card. I've got Night of Navy ink, and I've got Fa La La stamp. I just stamp this really randomly on our card front. This is quite a juicy pad, so I've got to be a little bit careful. And I am going off the edge, stamping on my mat. So let me grab a liner here, since we're going off the side. La 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 la. La 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 la. So there we go. Kind of not a very traditional. I found it. Yeah, la la la. Yes, found it. All right. Good morning, Diane. Nice to see you. Okay, so we've got that done. Now, what we want to do next is I've got a piece of, basic white. And I want to cut it out with what I call the most ornate die. Okay, but the first thing I've done is I've stuck it to one of those adhesive sheets. Now, I haven't tried this, so this is an experiment. We'll see how it goes. It should be okay. I have pre-cut another one just in case this one doesn't go the way I think, because sometimes things happen on live TV, right? Now, I also have taken a piece of vellum, and I've cut the same design out of vellum. And I didn't use the adhesive sheet because I'm actually going to save the frame for another card. Okay, let's see that we're out of frame here. Let me bring you back in. So I'm gonna just need the oval piece. So I'm going to set that aside because I'm going to need that. And then I'm going to be cutting this out. So the first thing I'm going to do is adhere my little oval. Now, you can do it with lots of different products. Sometimes people worry that you'll be able to see the glue through the vellum, and sometimes that happens. So I prefer to use, my white glue works if you just do a few little dabs. I'm just going to use the glue dots from Paper Pumpkin. Okay, so I just need to grab, oh boy, when you're making a card at night and then you put everything, you think, oh, I'm going to put everything away, and then you don't. That's what happens. I did put it away. So I'm just going to grab these. Now, I'm just going to put them in a few spots. Because we're just trying to anchor this. We're not trying to, make it so it's, glued all over. So there we go. We're just going to do that. And then we can just remove these. If you get Paper Pumpkin and you have these glue dots, oh, I just love them. They're my favorite. And I've got a whole stack of them now. because you don't need them all for the projects. Speaking of which, did you guys get your paper pumpkin? They're really cute, the tags. I had to make some alternative projects for Stampin' Up. And on their Facebook, they have a Facebook page, paper pumpkin page. Just type in Facebook paper pumpkin and you'll see the official page. And they show those alternatives. I think it's on the last Monday, so it'll be Tuesday. So it'll be a week Tuesday, whatever that date is. I don't know, 29th. So you can see what I created with those. I had to do alternate. It was fun. Okay, so what I'm going to do, you guys, is I do need the large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, right? So we've got our plate number 1, our plate number 2, a clear plate, which is, let me do it that way. And I've got my cardstock with the adhesive sheet on the back. I've got my very ornate frame, and then I'm putting another plate on top. So we'll see how this goes. Because one of the things I find, it's not hard, it's just, it's challenge. It's a challenge for me anyway, to get the backing off sometimes. You'll see what I mean in a minute. It'll either go really well or it won't. I just want to make sure that I'm cut all the way through, because this is quite thick now, right? Because we've got our basic white, then we've got that extra adhesive. So I don't need the white piece. So we're going to set that aside, because that could be used very nicely with that vellum for another project, right? Got a little bag of all sorts of stuff. Now this is where we're going to see what happens. I'm going to take this out of the frame, and then I'm just going to run my nail along and get these little bits out, because of course it's just a little bit more finicky when you've got the extra thickness. So just quickly poke those out. I did find that when I just used cardstock and I didn't add that adhesive, that these just popped out. I just ran my fingernail and they popped out. These are trying to stick a little bit too, because I do have the glue on them. Every little bit of this has glue on it, right? So that's part of the issue. So just keep going here. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday so far. Ours has just started really here. Okay. Oh, something's like my scissors are going clang, 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 clang on my project. See, that one is out, but the glue's there. So that's part of what it is. So sometimes it's a little bit picky. However, you have to weigh the advantage of having glue on this entire piece versus having to use either your Stampin' Seal or your white glue and trying to get glue on these very delicate pieces, right? So it's a trade-off. You have to just see which you prefer. Some people would prefer just to, go with the glue. And it's what I did on my original card. I didn't use the sheets. All righty. I think that's good. So there we go. So I got my little pile here. Let me just grab a little piece of paper, and I'm just going to, I always feel like a waiter when I do that. You know how they come to your table and they have that little thing and they go like that? All right. So here's our card, and we want to press this on. So here's where we all have to take a deep breath and hope for the best. So once you get the start, oh my gosh, it's going to work. Look at that. So I got it started, and I'm going to peel. And now I can throw that out. And this is all sticky. So, and it's not like sticky where you go, oh gosh, as soon as I touch the paper, I can't move it. It's not that kind of sticky. It's just sticky enough. There we go. And I can press that down. Isn't that great? I love when things work out, especially when I'm live. Yay. Okay, so we've got the basis of our card here, and we can still see the fa la la through the vellum. Okay. Now we got a bit of cutting to do. So hang in with me there, because we've got it's a bit finicky, the card, but I think you'll agree at the end of the day it's gorgeous. Good morning, Kathy. How are you? Nice to see you here. You haven't missed much. All we've done is we're using the framed and festive stamp set to create our card. And all I've done is cut out 2 frames, one from vellum and one from basic white. So we can set this one aside now. Okay, what else am I going to use today? Well, I've got a piece of Night of Navy. And I've got a piece of 2 pieces of vellum. I'm going to use those. I've got a piece of DSP. These are just scraps, you guys. That's why I'm not mentioning the sizes. They're just scraps to fit the dies. And then I've got that gorgeous distressed gold. Isn't this beautiful? I mean, it's really beautiful, right? So I got a piece of that. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Now, what I might try and do here is, I think I'm going to put one of these. Yeah, I'm going to put my distressed gold on the adhesive sheet. Okay, so just want to see how big this has to be, because you don't want it bigger than your piece, because then you just get a bit of a mess. So I'm going to just put some pencil marks there. I'm just going to use my scissors because it doesn't have to be exact. Just want to get it a bit smaller. Okay, so that's what you do. And then you just peel the top sheet off. Now, the ones from Stampin' Up! No longer say Sizzix. This is the old ones that we used to sell. The ones that we have now don't say that. They're our own. So there, that looks good. I'm just going to glue that down, okay? Now, let's move all of this out, and let's bring in some of these dies that we're going to use. I'm going to use these 2, I don't know what you call them, like just leaves. And then this gorgeous, more ornate piece. Okay, so I'm going to cut one of these out of here, and I want to cut out one of these. Now, I might be able to get 2 on here, but I might be pushing my luck. I don't really know. Let's see. I don't think I'll push my luck. I could do it, but if anything shifts, it's a mess. Yeah, we'll try. We'll see. All right. Grab our plates, because now I'm going to just use our regular mini emboss. So we've got plate number 3. Remember, we don't use the plates that they tell us. We use the plates they tell you to. So plate 3, plate 2. Let's move this up here. Okay. And then plate 2, the other plate 2 on top. Okay. So we've got our mini. Let's bring her in. I'm going to put those on our platform here. That looks good. Okay, I'm going to take a chance and not do tape. I'm just going to trust myself. Good morning, Sharon. Oh, the backing. Hi, Jan. Oh, you're in bed. It's a good day to sort of be in bed. It's a interesting cold day, isn't it? Sharon, all I used was adhesive sheets. We sell these. They come in a pack of 6 by 12, and you get 12 of them. I like the supervised small children, it says, in very small print. I'm thinking, what harm could small children get into with adhesive sheets? But then I guess they could probably get into a fair bit. Gluing themselves to the wall. Okay, so then you see what happens, Sharon, is then when you apply it to the cardstock, or what in this case it's the distressed gold. Be really careful. This is a very, very delicate die. And then what you get is you get glue over the entire piece, which is a godsend, right? Because it means that you don't have to be fussing with white glue. You just have to be very careful. Just gently remove your die. And of course, it's going to also want to start tearing off the glue, which is fine. Just be mindful that it's trying to do that. Okay. And then we'll just poke these guys out because it's a bit thicker, right? We haven't just got the cardstock or the designer series paper. We've got that extra layer of adhesive. These are awesome for really delicate dies, like that frame. Okay, so that's those. I'm going to set those aside. Okay, up there. There we go. And then I also need, I'm going to grab my vellum. And I've got 2 sheets of vellum. And I want to cut out 2 of these. Okay, so I'll do that. And then remember that designer series paper that I had? Just pick any color. I like this one. I'm going to just cut 2 leaves out of that. Okay. Oh, we're making it through the die cutting faster than I thought. Yesterday when I was making this card, it was taking me a little bit. Okay. Up. And back. I should be able to go through the 2 pieces of vellum. Vellum is a thinner piece. I wouldn't try and cut through 2 pieces of white, for instance, with that die. I think it would be asking too much of it. And then we've got our little leaves. Just throw them up there. There we go. All right. So once we get ready to put all this together, we'll bring all this back in. But let's just keep going with the elements that we need. Any questions, you guys? Are you just quietly watching? Jan's in bed. Hopefully I've kept her interested. Okay. Now, let's stamp some images. I'm going to use my Night of Navy again, and I'm going to stamp the 2. Let me grab the stamp so I can show you. I'm going to grab these 2 flowers. Okay. So let's stamp those. Go here. And I need 2 of the large ones. So I'm going to stamp that twice. Now we'll color that in with some Stampin' Blends. All I've got is, let's see here, light sweet sorbet, light petal pink, and dark petal pink. Okay, so I'm going to color in. So I'm not really blending much, you guys. I'm just sort of using them as a marker. So I'm going to color this one in with the light sorbet. Light sweet sorbet. These are going to be cut out with the coordinating dies. I'm not too worried if I go over a bit. Okay, so that's one flower. Let's color the middle of that one with the dark petal pink. Okay, and then for the little guys here, which I want one little guy. So I'm going to do the dark in the middle, and then the same on this one. And then on the very tips of these flowers, I'm using the dark. Okay. Then I'm going to use the light petal pink. It's a really simple card in terms of coloring. It's just a bit fiddly because you're going to have all these little bits, but it's going to be worth it. You're going to see why it's worth it. Okay, so those are the 3 flowers that we need. Now we're going to cut those out. So let me grab got my, see what I did? I positioned these on a block together, right? And then I'd already cut this out once. I've got tape on here just to keep them so they won't move. And I've got it set up so that when I cut out multiples, I've got them spaced exactly for my dies. Just saves me a bit of time when I'm making more than one card. All right, so we can go ahead and cut those out. Who else has jumped in here? Oh, nobody. Everybody's good? Okay. Pop those out. And then I need that one extra flower. So we'll just reposition this one on that. And then I get an extra flower that I can save. I like to save things. I got them all in a little bag for this collection because you've got quite a few of the centers or the outside ovals, because when you cut them, you get the oval and the outside ring, and sometimes you mix and match the colors. So just keep them and you'll use them. I use them up. All right. I think that's all I need for that. Now we also need a saying. So I've got a piece of, what am I trying to say? Night of Navy. Night of Navy. Let's emboss this. So I'm going to take my embossing buddy just to get rid of all those oils that are in our fingers, right? And we've got white embossing powder. We've got Versamark. Let me grab a scrap here in a sec to collect my wayward embossing powder. So we're going to use the word Merry Christmas. Okay, I got to put this right in front of me, you guys, so I might be off screen for a sec. I need to be able to see where I'm stamping this. Okay, bring it back. Hi, Mern. How are ya this morning? Okay. Remember, close your Versamark and collect up all your straight embossing powder. Put it back in your little jar and put the lid on before you do anything else. Okay, it's cold. I know. Cold here too. It was really cold yesterday. But I guess we have to start dressing for it, right? Which we don't tend to do. Okay, I love, love, love these tweezers. This comes in the embossing. I think it's, what's it called? Well, it's an embossing kit. You get a powder pal, you get the embossing buddy that we just used, and you get a little brush in case there's anything really straight. And then I love this tweezers. These are the best because they're not metal. Well, they might be metal, but they're more like a matte, so they don't get hot, which I really like. Oh, I almost blew all my little bits all over my table. So let's just heat emboss that. I think embossing is probably the most fun thing we do, don't you guys? And I've been stamping or doing Stampin' Up! For over 20 years. And this is still the wow. This is the one that if you're showing people who've never stamped before, exciting things you can do, this is the one that they all go, oh, I love that. And we all still do, I think. All right, let me trim this down. Now I could just use my skizzers, but why bother when I've got my little cutter here? Let's just, there we go. And then I'll cut the ends by hand. Whoops. Okay. This one I want to cut, just give it a little bit of a angle cut like that. And this one will just give myself a little bit of room there. I can always trim it more if I want. All right, so we grab all these bits that we've got. We've got flowers, remember? We've got 2 vellum leaves. And I'm just going to poke some of these out. You know, it's funny because I got a card once from somebody, and it was a very similar kind of shape to this, where you had all these little bits. And she hadn't punched out all these little bits. And I thought, she didn't punch them out. And you know what? I think it was on purpose because it actually looked kind of cool that they weren't all punched out. Hard to describe. You'll see in a minute in case I can't punch something out. Move all this stuff. Okay, then we've got a gold. This is the distressed gold paper. Oh, let me hold it up. Distressed gold. So it's gorgeous, right? I've got one of those. I've got a leaf. Okay, now I cut these ones out yesterday, so because I might want to use more than one. Let's bring these in so you can see all the little bits we've got. Got a lot going to go on this card. Then we've got the one that we did this morning, right, with the adhesive on the back. So let me just poke these out. These are the ones that we did together. Then I've got another gold distressed, which has got the adhesive on the back. I hope that you guys will try the adhesive. I'm just off camera poking these things out, you guys, just so they're not, I don't poke the bits out and have to clean up my workspace again. So I'm just poking them out over on the side here. I hope you'll give the adhesive sheets a try. Have you guys tried them before? There's so many dyes that they'd work with. You know the, what's it called? I shouldn't have said it. Now I won't remember. Someone will remember. What's the two? They're two dyes. They're large. They cut on a corner, like an angle, and they're kind of lattice. They would be great for something like this. The adhesive sheets. Okay. Okay, so we've got a couple of those. Then we've got our little ones that we cut out of the designer series paper. All right, so look at all the bits we've got. I'm just going to move them out of camera for a sec so I can bring in our cards so we can get this put together. Okay, card, here we go. Oh, I know what I need to do. Sorry, before I do that, fire, bring in a piece of scrap. I've got, this is the best ribbon. The crinkled seam binding ribbon is the best for a couple of reasons. It's very soft and very easy to tie, but you can color it to any color. And I'm going to make it split card texture. Thank you, Mo. Yes. So wouldn't it be great with those adhesive sheets? So I'm using a dark Night of Navy Stampin' Blend, and I want to color my ribbon. And the reason I'm doing it ahead of time is I want it to dry, although the alcohol ink dries really quick. One thing I will say about using the blend, it's really easy, but with this particular ribbon, it does stiffen up the ribbon. It's not so stiff you can't tie it or anything, but it's not quite as soft as it is in its original state. Okay, I think that should be enough. Yeah, that should be enough. And you can just see, look at that. It just colors it right through. It's awesome. Isn't that awesome? Love it. Okay, so let's cut that off. Yeah, I think that's enough for do a bow. We'll see in a minute. I'm just going to let that dry a little bit. So let's move that out of the way. All right. Card. Here it is. Okay, let's start layering things. So I'm going to grab the piece of distressed gold with the backing on it. So I've got one that's got backing and one that doesn't. So we're going to show you how to do it either way if you don't have the backing. Remember when I did my oval and it was coming off so beautifully and I was so excited? I thought that'll never happen again. But look, it happened again. It's so easy. So I'm going to pull that off. Okay. Oh, that's weird. There we go. And then we're going to position it maybe there. And what I love, you see, the whole thing glues down in one piece. Isn't that great? Hold that up so you can see. It's all glued. Yay. Now the other side is just regular, the distressed gold, no adhesive. So now we have to figure out how we're going to glue this baby on. So I'm going to just take some white glue and really just have to be really careful. This glue does dry clear, but it's a slippery glue, right? So when you put it on, if you want to move it, you sometimes will see the glue because you've shifted it, but it will dry clear. Just don't want to use too much, okay? So let's, for this one, I think we'll go kind of, just have to think about this. I think I'll go this way. I'm going to not move this. That's it. Got to live there. I think I'll just trim off that little. So that's with the adhesive and this is not. And you can see I can't get adhesive on all these little bits. It's just pretty impossible. But I'll just have to live with it. Same with the vellum. I'm going to, again, I'm just going to be able to glue. Now this one you could use those glue dots, those paper pumpkin glue dots. because you probably wouldn't see them. And they probably do a good job. But let's just do that. See, I can see that glue, but that's, and that probably irritate me, but that's okay. I'm going to just press those on. So this is a matter of what, you know, what look do you want to go with, right? There's no right or wrong here. I've got these fabulous gold. Love these. I might add these later because I'm not quite sure where I want to put those. And then we want to add just a titch. How about this? Just pop up with this nice blue tinge DSP. Let's do that. I'm thinking maybe here. Okay. Now I'm going to just leave it for now because I want to add some other things and then we'll figure out where we're going to add the remainder of our bits. So now here's our ribbon. And like I said, see, it's stiffened up quite a bit. But I'm just doing a simple bow, so it'll be fine. So tie a bow. And then just fuss with this a bit. Get the size you want. You can always trim off. Okay. All right, I think that's good. Now I'm going to put this one on with a regular Stampin' Up! Glue dot. Mini glue dot. I'm just going to grab a glue dot on my bow, maybe a couple. And I'm just going to glue it down like so. There we go. And then we just want to trim off our little ends here. Go. Now we've got our flowers. I'm going to use the two light pink ones, the petal pink ones. This time I'm going to use a dimensional. So let's grab dimensional on each of those. Everybody's still with me? Can't look at the, let's see if we've got any more comments. It's really funny. My sister Mo was visiting and she can see she knows what my setup looks like. So I'm now moving over, trying to move my cursor over to see if there's anything else on this. No, we're all caught up. Okay. Because sometimes I get comments on my iPad that I don't get on my computer and vice versa. It's kind of weird. All right. So we got a little guy. Let's put him here. And then we've got the bigger of the two. Let's put him here. And then my bright colored one. Actually, I'm just going to glue him on. I don't think he needs to be popped up. Let's just glue that here. Okay. Just going to hold that in place. Okay. Now we can add some more of these elements that we've got going. Here's another gold. Let's use that one. So again, I've got the adhesive sheet on here. And by the way, you guys, we also have another product. I was just thinking. We have a product that's like a dimensional, but it's like one whole sheet. And if you used it, see, these can be picky when they're small. If you use it in my eye, everybody, I always have my qualifier with that I have 1.5 eyes. Oh, I got it, I think. If you use that with a frame, you would have, this would all be, you could pop up the entire frame using that product. Don't you love this gold? Just gonna, it's such a elegant gold, I think. Let's stick that down. I think we could use another little pop of blue. Maybe kind of over here. Maybe, I'm not sure yet. Yeah, I think so. All right, let's see, in this one I have to put the regular glue on. So you can see, I'm trying to show you that you can use either application. But if you can handle the fussiness of the adhesive sheets when it comes time to actually adhere them to your project, you're happier. It's a lot easier to use. Okay, so we've got some blue, some blue, some blue. And I think one more golden, we should be good. So this is a bit fussy, this card. I realize that. But sometimes there are people in your lives that are special and you want to send them a special card, especially around the holidays. Let's see. How do I want this? I want it down here. You sort of just have to play around and go, how do I want this? I think that's good. Stick them down there. So we got lots of layers going on. Then we've got Merry Christmas. We can't forget to put our Merry Christmas. I think it would be better like there. So I don't know if I want to pop it up though. We've got so much stuff popped up. So many layers. I think I'm just going to glue it. Whoop. I think I'm going to put it here. I think that looks good. It doesn't matter that this is cut crooked. It's not that bad. It's just fussy cut, and that's okay. All right. Now we got to finish this off with one of our swirls because you want to tie in all that gold, right? Now you can color these with Stampin' Blends. So I could have colored that with the Sweet Sorbet, but I like the gold, the pop of gold. Papa gold? Pop of gold. All right, let's move this over and let's show you that card. What do you think? See that my connection's a little wonky, but that's okay. I see that it's sort of choppy, but that's okay. It'll probably on the replay be fine. Thanks, Anne. It's fussy, but it's pretty. So that's the one we just did. I don't think there's much difference in the one I did yesterday. I don't think you can see much difference. I may have layered them differently. I think I put the vellum behind the gold on this one, and this one I put the vellum on top of the gold. Same idea. Okay, whoops, same idea. So let's put that in screen, like so. Should we show some other cards using this fantastic collection? I know you want to sign up. So here is I think they call it a faux step card. So here's one. You can see that we've got the faux going here. So this one here is, again, using that gorgeous frame. Lots of gold. This is the Textured Chic Designer Series paper, which really ties in with the gold accents. And then the, that might be Blushing Bride. I'm not sure if that's Blushing Bride or Petal Pink, but it's just the stamp embossed in gold and cut out. So really quite simple, but effective. All right, what else can I show you? This was a card we made. I don't know when we made this, last week or the week before. I can't remember. Hi, Carly, sweetie. How are you? Nice to see you, no matter how late you are. Glad to see you. Okay, so this one's quite pretty. And again, we've got that gold tie-in, right? And this one here is exactly the same layout. I made this card when I was visiting my sisters in Toronto. My sister Mo cut out all the pieces for me, and all I had to do was color them and stick them on. That's that white glimmer paper from the mini catalog, the red and white. Grab some of that before it's sold out, you guys. And then we made this card. This was on my blog this morning, but we made this card last week, or when my sister Ellie, Mo was here. We actually made this one together. So that's the buckle card. Just showing you them all because this is probably going to be one of my last times using the collection. I'm moving on probably, and I want to just show you the possibilities and encourage you to sign up for our class. So here's another card. Very pretty. This is cut from the Designer Series paper. It's even easier. Oh, here's another Christmas one we did. Remember? Sort of non-traditional. Then we did the spanner card. Remember? It's also on my blog. And of course, you can go back and watch the video. We made that one. I like that one too. And a couple more. There's another one I made with my sisters. Like when I say made with my sisters, they gave me the stuff and I put it together. And here's another one. Love this one. My sister Ellie made this adorable card. This is another faux step card. See, you can see that. So when it stands up, it's like that, which is so cool. Love the colors in this one. And then I did make this book. I think it's called a book spot. It's a book card, isn't it? Because it looks like a book. So in this one, I created the inside to peek through the outside. Okay. Okay, so those are some samples, and then back to here's today's card. Okay, so lots of possibilities. My goodness, I gotta trim from my cursor. Here we go. Lots of possibilities, right, you guys? So, oh, thanks, you guys. I love this set too, Carol. It's great. Not sure who my Facebook user is, but thank you. You're welcome, Jacqueline and Mern and Carly. It's windy and freezing out. Oh, it's not windy here, Carl. But it's freezing. It's cold. I love the blue too, Sharon. I love the colors in this designer series paper. So they've sold out of the gold swirl, adhesive back swirl. So they might sell out of the DSP. So don't be disappointed. Make sure you run and get them before it's gone. Okay, you guys, I think that's all. Any more questions? We were a little bit later today because it was a bit of a more involved card, right? Okay, so I think that's all. Thanks, Diane. Bye. We'll see you guys hopefully on my next live will be Wednesday, right? So Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So I hope you get some stamping in before then and some creative time to yourself, especially if it's cold where you are. Go down to your stamping area or bring your stamping area up to where you are and create something beautiful, okay? And then mail it. Mail a card to somebody this week. That would be, people love getting cards. I love getting cards in the mail, so I know they will too. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you taking time out, and we'll see you on Wednesday.